in the reception. Do not let them see you as soon as they have got their hand on the doorknob to go out rummaging in this box. Okay, and always make sure there is some paper in the box. And they should see you when they have put it in, shaking the box. So they will then know that you don't know who it is. The first time you do this, you actually won't get completely truthful answers. But if you follow the format I've just given you, they will know that it's safe, in inverted commas. And the next time you do it, you will get really, really truthful answers. Okay? So, formal and informal feedback is really important. One of the questions you might want to ask is, how do you rate our salon, our supply company, whatever, out of 100 in terms of customer care? And say everybody said you were marvellous at customer care, just a shame about the damp smell. But let's just say everybody thought you were marvellous in customer. That is a press release. That is something that can go to your local newspaper to say, local business achieves 99.999% in customer care survey. So you will use that information. So it's something you use internally to make your business better, but it's also something you can use externally in communications. Okay. Now, there's two ways you have business growth, in a nutshell. One is existing customers paying more, and two is getting new customers. So let's look at getting new customers. And one of the ways that you get new customers is using your existing customers to get them in. Okay? So, again, let's use me as an example of your existing customer. You want more people like me. So you give me a number of different questionnaires, and I'll go through what should be in them in a moment, and I then hand them out to my friends. And that questionnaire can be more open-ended because you don't know who they're going to and they don't know you. I should say, if you're going to do this, you must give them a means of getting it back to you that doesn't cost them anything. So please put a stamped addressed envelope in there. You can't ask people to pay to give you information. So what you're doing is you're using me as a vehicle to give half a dozen, 10 questionnaires to friends of mine that don't come to you, and then they send information back to you through a stamped addressed envelope. You should, by the way, have some little sign on it somewhere so you know that the people who have responded have come from me. And then I will get some sort of thank you from you. Now that could be, if I'm having facials, I could have a free polish. If I'm having manicures, I could have an eyelash tint. You know, some sort of incentive stroke thank you. So this questionnaire is completely different. This questionnaire is about why people don't come to you. This questionnaire is about how people perceive you who are not your customers. Now, you might think that's a bit daft, but there's suppliers who have stands here at this show that you don't use. You've never used them, but you have a perception about how good or bad they are. There will be people within a 5, 10, 15-mile radius of your business that have a perception about you and your business. You need to know what that is. And then you can deal with any of those issues in your communications. So, the questions to ask are, do you visit a beauty salon? No. Okay? But if the answer is yes, not which beauty salon is it, but I used to ask which postcode was it. Then it's fairly easy to fathom out which ones they are. How often do they visit the beauty salon? What sort of treatments do they have? And you might want to give them something to tick. So hair removal, anti-aging, body treatments, blah, blah, other. And I don't want to go into it all now because we haven't got time. But this particular questionnaire is about finding out why people don't come to you. And certainly one of the questions is, what have you heard about Floss's beauty salon, whatever your salon is called or your business is called? And again, you might want to put something, have you heard they're very good? Have you heard they're expensive? Have you heard this? And see what they tick. One of the most useful pieces of information and research data you can get hold of is why people don't use you. Because once you know that, you can address it through your marketing communications and get more customers in, because as I said before, that's where your real growth is. It's in new business. So using people like me, remember the more profitable people, the ones you want more of, using those people and giving them 6 to 10 questionnaires to give to their friends who are like-minded will give you exactly the amount of market research and data you need to get more of the clients that you want. Now, it will take you some time to do this, but anything worth doing does take time. It does take research. It does take analysis. But the information you get back, trust me, is priceless. I've talked about incentivizing me. Another thing that you need to get from your existing customers is what they believe your strengths and weaknesses are. If you believe you are absolutely 100% brilliant at X, and your customers think you're rubbish, you're rubbish. If I think I'm a brilliant orator and you think I'm rubbish, I'm rubbish. So strengths and weaknesses are always viewed through the eyes of your customers. And what did I say before? Who are the only people who can tell you what your strengths and weaknesses are? Your customers. So ask them. Again, you might want to give them a sheet, line down the middle, strengths, weaknesses, and get them to fill it in. Or you might feel more comfortable saying things that you think we're good at, things that you think we could be better at. Again, presupposing you're already good. So strengths and weaknesses is something that you should be looking at in your business all the time. But let me counsel you, that is irrelevant if you don't do it with your customers. Because at the end of the day, it's their views, not yours, that count. So I say, if you think you're great and they think you're rubbish, you're rubbish. Now, strengths and weaknesses, you can only really measure when you compare them to other similar businesses, because you are working in an extremely competitive business environment. You almost need to know as much about your competitors' businesses as you do about your own. If you don't know the colour of their toilet paper, you've not done your job. Okay? Because you are competing. So your strengths are only strengths in comparison to your competitors. Your weaknesses are only weaknesses in comparison to your competitors. Now, often, psychologically, we look to see who we are better than. So we can go, oh, well, I'm better than they are. But actually, you don't grow as a business by doing that. So what you need to do is follow the trade press, follow awards, see who's winning things, and if they are quite a way away from you, so there's no competitive issue, go and see them. Go and see how they run their businesses, what their policies and procedures are, how they answer the phone, how they take their payment, what their cancellation policies are, what treatments they run, how many days a week are they open, how many hours. Do they treat men and women? Do they treat them at the same time? Is there a separate clinic for men? How do they do it? And this is what we call benchmarking. You find somebody who is better than you and benchmark or map or compare what you do against what they do. Now, let's say you're all from Midlands and South. If somebody from Scotland rang you tomorrow and said, I've heard you have got the most fantastic salon, would you mind if I came along and you shared some of your practices with me? You'd probably think, oh, that's rather nice, because there's no competition issue. So please don't be concerned, scared, frightened about doing the same to others. So benchmarking is very important. Remember, you are working in a competitive environment. There are not hundreds of men and women in your area just waiting for you to open your salon doors. They have choice. Okay, so you need to know what the competition is doing and measure yourselves against it. And measure yourself against businesses that are better than you.